Hello, boys and girls, and this is going to be a little different than what you're used to seeing. This is a new program that I came across. It's called Screenomatic. It's actually a great way to record, and this way you don't have to look at me. I figure you look at me enough during the day that you probably don't want to see me during the videos. So basically what we're doing is I'm just recording in a smaller window. And this is for your what I want you to do Sunday night before you come back to school. First thing I'm going to want you to do is I'm going to want you to go to our website, go to MBK, and then once you get to our website, go ahead and whether you're in 4th grade or you're in 5th grade, it doesn't matter. Either one is going to work. Go down to Math Video Links right here, and you're going to go ahead and click on it. And it's going to bring you to our page, and then I want you to go ahead and scroll down, and you'll notice that right here on 4th grade it says Access Online Math Book. If you already know how to do this, if you already know how to access your online math book, whether you're in 4th or 5th, it really doesn't matter, then that's great. Then the explanation of what I'm going to follow with next makes this even easier. So go ahead and find that. If you click on this link, first thing you should do is just go ahead and click, hold, and drag using the left key on your mouse, and then right-click and copy that so that you have that copied. Then go ahead and click on macmillan.com.ose, and it's going to bring up this website. Then go ahead and right-click, paste, and in that goes, and then you go ahead and hit submit, and that's going to bring up our online math book, which is great. This one happens to be for 4th grade. 5th graders, you're going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to show you in just a second. But if you'll notice right here, it says Table of Contents. Okay, if you're not used to using this online math book, this is going to be your friend. Go ahead and click on Table of Contents, and you'll notice on the left-hand side for 4th grade, here are all of the chapters that we've had this year. Your job tonight, there is not a whisk form required. The only thing that I want you to do tonight is I want you to go through the chapters one at a time. In other words, click chapter 1, open it up, bring it up to chapter 1 so you can see what it looks like, and then read what it is. What is place value? And it talks about just some of the things that you've already seen. This essentially is going to be a refresher, because on Monday when you come to school, what you're going to do is you're going to take a math placement, or not math, semester assessment. And that's going to give me an idea of what we need to cover between now and STAR testing in 3 weeks. I was going to do it a little differently. In fact, if you look at our website, you'll notice on the video page, you'll see STAR testing review, and it says Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Well, I got to thinking about that today, and I thought it seems silly to have all of you go back and review chapters that maybe you already know. So I don't want to waste your time just as much as you don't want to waste mine. So the purpose of tonight is important, though. The purpose of tonight is to go through each of your chapters and just kind of review. And you can quickly go through them and look at each of the pages. And if you go up here on the right, it says View 2 pages side by side. You can click that, and it's kind of nice because then you can get 2 pages there, and you can extend your window out. I'm not, because I'm recording in this smaller window. But you can see here, if I just move to the right, there's the other page. So here's lesson 1-1. So I want you to just go through and review each lesson, and you'll notice on the left, lesson 1-1, lesson 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, and 1-7. Those are the 7 lessons that we covered in chapter 1 way back at the beginning of the school year. Okay, so I want you to go through each of the chapters and refresh your memory. Review the materials, look at it. If you have your math book at home, which when I was at school today looking in the cubbies, it looked like pretty much all of you left it at school, which is fine, which is why we have the online version. And I'm sure you were thinking, oh, if I'd only just left it. Well, you did, you left it probably. And if you do have your math book, however, that's even better, because it's a lot easier, I think, to go through your math book than it is to go through it online. But what I want you to do is go through each of the lessons in each chapter, and when you're done with chapter 1, just click back on the little arrow on the left hand side. It'll zoom back up, and then you click on that arrow on chapter 2 and everything drops down. These are little drop down menus. So again, if I want to click on it, it's going to bring it up. If I click on it again, it brings it down. So then I want you to go through the lessons in chapter 2. I don't want you to do them, obviously. I just simply want you to review them, because on Monday and Tuesday, you'll be taking this math semester assessment. And it's really important that you do your best on it, because it's going to dictate what we do for the next 2.5 weeks as far as math goes, and where we're going to spend, or I should say where you're going to spend the majority of your time. The next 2 weeks is going to be completely independent math, which means that you're going to be focusing on the chapters that you're struggling with. You're going to be focusing on the chapters that you need help with. And I think this will be really good for all of you, because there are certain things in the chapters that maybe you're not so sure about, and there are other things that you are sure about. And there's going to be some opportunities for going online and looking at things and reviewing that way. And then, of course, most importantly, we're going to spend a tremendous amount of time in class going back over these. So for Monday and Tuesday, you're simply going to take a review test. And this is for both 4th and 5th graders. And I'm going to show 5th grade's page, but essentially 5th grade looks exactly the same as what you're looking at here. So anyways, you're going to go through tonight each chapter and kind of go through it. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take out a piece of paper and just jot down, bullet, if you will, those things that you don't understand. So for instance, let's say you go into chapter 3 and you look at it, and for some reason, when you look at finding a rule, you're not really sure about what it's talking about. You're not totally clear 100% as to how you find the rule. Okay, and remember, there can be more than just one thing. It might be x plus 7 is equal to y, but it could be x plus, we're trying to figure out what x is in this case, and it's adding 7. So it's x plus 7 is equal to y, but it could be x plus 7 minus 1 is equal to y. So that finding that rule. But let's just say this is one that you're not sure about. So on your paper, put a bullet and write finding a rule. And then specifically about finding a rule, what is it that you don't understand? This is going to be your checklist. This is going to be the sheet that we're going to go through for the next 2.5 weeks, making sure that you understand everything. And you're going to go through each little section, each little topic, until you are 100% clear on what it is that you're doing and how you do it. Okay? So take out that piece of paper as you go through your notebook, or as you go through either online, or if you have your math book with you, as you go through it, take out that notebook and bullet anything that you don't understand. Okay? Anything that you're not completely clear on how to do. In other words, if you can't walk into the classroom and teach it to someone else, you're still not clear on it yet. Let me say that again. If you can't walk into class tomorrow morning, I'm assuming you're watching this on Sunday night, but if you can't walk in on Monday morning and teach it to another classmate, or better yet, teach it to me, then you don't fully understand it. Okay? That's the kind of level you need to be at. You need to understand it. So if you're going through these things and you're thinking, well, I understand what find a rule is, but I'm not sure that I could teach it to someone else, then it's not something that you're familiar with enough, which means it needs to be something that you bullet as something that you've got to look at. So that's really important. Okay? Let's go ahead. I'm going to go back to my website, and then I'm going to go back to 5th grade. In 5th grade, remember, it looks exactly the same. Go to Math Video Links, click on that, and then again, if you scroll down, you'll see Online Math Book. It looks a little different, but it's the same thing. Here's the code. Now, the key, I'm going to fix this. It probably will look a little different when you actually see it, because as soon as this video is over, I'm going to fix it. But it says grade 5. You only want from where the F starts. So again, click with the left mouse click, drag to the right, right click, copy. Then go to Macmillan Osei, click on that, put in your code, paste, and hit submit. And it's going to take you to the online version of 5th grade. Exactly the same thing. 5th graders, you're going to do exactly what 4th grade is doing. You're going to go to the table of contents, go to chapter 1, look at the lessons in chapter 1, and make sure that you understand all of these. In other words, you can teach them to the students. Now, I seem to remember, 5th grade especially, that a lot of you had problems with prime factors and figuring out some of the things in this particular chapter. So this is going to be one that you're going to want to look at. But you're going to go to prime factors again. If you want it on 2 pages, I can say fit to page and click on 2 pages. and now it's fitting to the page. It's smaller, and I know this is getting really hard for you to see, but I can also enlarge it even bigger so you can kind of see what's going on there. And you can just scroll down here on one side or the other. Okay, so again, 5th graders, you're going to do the same thing 4th graders are going to do. You're going to go through each chapter tonight, and it's going to take you a little while. It may take you about an hour and a half, maybe a little longer to go through this. But it's important that you get it done tonight. Now, if you're starting this video at 9 o'clock, which some of you I know probably are, then it's going to be a problem, which means that you might have to watch half an hour tonight and get up early in the morning and watch the rest, or go through the rest of the chapters. Okay? I don't want you to skip any chapters. No skipping chapters. Let me say that again. Do not skip a chapter. If you open up a chapter and you're like, oh, I don't remember doing this, then that's definitely a chapter that we need to go to. Or if you open a chapter and go, I know all this, remember, you only know it if you can teach it to someone else and explain exactly how someone could do it. So let's say I brought in a 3rd grader and I had you explain the concept to them. If you can explain it where they understand it and can do it, then you understand it. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I know this is a little different look. I'm going to use this program for a lot of these kind of videos where I'm not writing anything or drawing anything on it. Although I could, if I click here on draw, I could actually go in and start to draw some things, which is kind of cool. Click OK, and now I can go in here and I can actually highlight things like this. Or I can look at this and say, all right, prime factors. So what are prime factors of, say, 16? Well, we know we've got 1 times 16, and we've got 2 times 8, and we've got, whoa, and I can zoom in like that, and can't zoom in any further, and I'm not sure as I've done this. Oops, zoom out, there we go. So I've zoomed out. I can also do, we've got 4 times 4. So the prime factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4. You get the point. Each of these numbers is a prime factor of whatever number it is. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at prime factors. Okay, so I can draw, which is kind of cool, and I can also erase. I can hit the erase button and I can just erase it, which is great. So I might use this a little bit more, but if I do it, I'm definitely going to use the tablet that I have because it seems to work really well and it's kind of hard to draw with your mouse. So anyways, boys and girls, this is what I want you to do tonight. I know this was kind of a long video. If that took too much of your time, I'm sorry. But it's important that you review materials and review each of the chapters in your book tonight before you come to school tomorrow morning. Again, if you need to get up early in the morning and finish it, please do so. This is important. And here's the way to look at it. If you go into tomorrow's test and you bomb a bunch of the problems on the test, then guess what? You're going to have a lot of work to do because the test is going to tell me what you know and what you don't know. And if you don't come in prepared for it, then it just means that you're going to have a lot of extra work to do between now and the next couple of weeks. All right, so this is Mr. Brewer, and as always, I will say it from here. You have been flipped.